Robbie Nielsen is sacked. There is a vacancy at Hearts. That means one thing, guys. Hearts need a brand new manager. Welcome back to Fog Football. Here to talk about who could be the next Hearts manager. Now, this isn't our personal opinions. We'll probably make a video later today about that, who we think should be considered for the job. However, interestingly, I did know that footballscotland.co.uk, basically a Scottish football site that pretty much covers Scottish football, makes a lot of articles, columns and stuff like that, has some like media, presenters, personalities and stuff make appearances on the website. It's a pretty big website when it comes to Scottish football, and they have they've basically reduced an article saying who they think could be the next 5 Hearts managers, the next 5 candidates after Robbie Nielsen. So I thought we would check it out, and honestly, I looked at the 5 names, and Jesus Christ, if Hearts have sacked Robbie Nielsen to employ these people, then what have the club done? This is an absolute horror show. Now, there is no signs that Hearts are interested in any of these people, but Football Scotland has made the article. So we thought we'd respond to it and just give our thoughts on the 5 shortlist candidates that this website has produced. So ignore all the annoying ads in the background. I don't use ad blocker. I try to keep these sites in business. You know what I mean? We want to.
I wouldn't want to job them it.
Yeah, we like to try and...
If people download an ad blocker, we'd be jobbed it.
Yeah, we like to try and protect the little man. So, and Scotland is full of little men. So,
the wee man.
Let's go.
The wee man.
Here are the 5 nominations then.
Fuck, who's that?
I don't know.
That's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Whoa. Nicky Butt. The Manchester United legend has been keen to get into management, and working in Scottish football is clearly no issue for him. Indeed, he even had an interview for the Aberdeen job following Jim Goodwin's sacking, though he was ultimately unsuccessful.
The problem I've got with that immediately, though, right? It's the Man United let's be fucking real, right?
What's that matter?
See that? No, well,
and is he really a legend?
No, but let me get into what I'm going to say here, right? One, see that class of '93? It's like the biggest bum to come out of it. See when Gerrard got the Rangers job, I mean, Steven Gerrard's a household name. See Nicky Butt, man. That is like...
It's not quite Ryan Giggs.
It's like the Steve Blackman of the Attitude Era. Yeah, he was there.
I like Steve Blackman.
I like Steve Blackman, but at the end of the day, he had duffel bags. This guy carried Scholes and fucking Giggs' bags.
Alright, but it says Nicky Burke. It says here he's clearly no issue working for Scottish Fitba. Why? Could he had an Aberdeen job interview?
We don't know how that interview went. He could have went, no, I don't like sheep.
Yeah,
no,
maybe the reason it was unsuccessful is because he didn't want to work in Scottish football, or he didn't think Scottish football was appealing. Maybe he expected to get a lot more, and Aberdeen were offering
Why would
less.
You get rid of Nielsen to bring in a guy that might work?
0 experience. This would be his first job in management. I think this would be a disaster. So I'm going to rate Nicky Butt 0 out of 10.
Yeah, happening and also my own opinion.
Yeah, on next got Paul Lambert. It seems like the Celtic legend is linked with every vacancy that comes up in the Premiership these days, and his name is certain to be mentioned in connection with Hearts. Lambert has a wealth of experience in management and has taken charge of clubs in the English Premier League, helping Norwich reach the top flight before later taking charge of Aston Villa. Livingston remain his only managerial post north of the border so far, but if the Jambles were to move for him, it would certainly give the 53-year-old something to consider. He is currently available as well, so there would be no need for Hearts to pay any compensation. Thoughts on Paul Lambert?
Is he not the guy that basically single-handedly made Aston Villa shite? Or was that Tim Sherwood? I know it was one of the two.
I'd be more willing to blame that on Tim Sherwood, to be honest.
Well, I don't think he's done an awful lot as manager. But I think he's the best option I've seen so far.
Well, you've only seen 2, and it wouldn't be hard to be better than Nicky Butt, considering this guy's got experience and Nicky Butt's got hee-haw.
He played the game.
He played
it up here.
Well, he's another legend as well, Celtic legend, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah, but for me, again, Paul Lambert, it's not really an appealing option for me. Don't get me wrong, obviously if it's between Lambert and Butt, you'd select Lambert every single day.
Yeah.
But I'd like to think if Hearts are going to replace Nielsen, then there is somebody better than Paul Lambert out there. And again, I don't really like the last sentence, basically stating that he's currently unavailable. So if Hearts did get him, they wouldn't need to pay any compensation. To me, that's the cheap option.
Yep.
If Hearts...
Yeah, you wouldn't need to pay any compensation for me.
Hearts and Joe Savage have come out and said they've got ambitions of winning the league. That's what they want to do. If that's the case, then you need to spend a bit of money. You can't be hiring the cheap options. If you want to get rid of Nielsen because he's not good enough, then what's the point of bringing in somebody on a free that isn't good enough either? I mean,
Exactly.
it makes no sense. I don't think Paul Lambert should be the man.
No, he should nowhere near be the man.
Speaking of who should not be the man, let's move on to the third option. Craig Levein, a guy that's had 2 spells at Hearts. First spell was okay. It was pretty good. Second spell, after the debacle with Scotland, the 4-6-0, was not good. He's also had a run as the club. What was the title? Club title. What do you call the
Director of football?
Yeah, he was the director of football.
The DOF.
And that didn't go too well either, in my opinion. But yeah, he might not be the man most Hearts fans want to see take charge of the team, but he could prove to be a good option for them until the end of the season. The Jambo's legend is obviously well familiar with the club, having managed them twice, with his most recent spell coming to an end in 2019. Levein hasn't worked in management since then either, so would be available to take one job on at short notice. However, it remains to be seen whether the club will want a permanent appointment made rather than a short-term option. I mean, this doesn't really go well for them. I mean, you look at Paul Lambert, currently available. Craig Levein hasn't had a job since getting Hearts relegated, essentially, from the Premiership. Is there a reason for that? These guys are currently out of work.
It seems like he's been linked with every job, though, recently. Like,
And does he get any, though?
No.
Again, maybe there's a reason these guys don't have jobs. Maybe they're not very good. I just don't see the point of taking Craig Levein back. I think that would be an absolute joke.
No, because the thing is, right, you get all these managers, right, I'm talking about, like, you know, like Mourinho, those, like, they're like, oh, I'm taking a wee bit off. But see, once a team wants them, they're back. Well, these pricks, they haven't been wanted in years.
Yeah, I don't know. Craig Levein coming back to Hearts, I think that's just a disaster.
But see, in my opinion, I think Hearts would be not an easy job, I don't want to say it's easy, but I feel like, you know, anyone who knows what they're doing could come into this Hearts team and easily, I think, get them third.
Right.
And would maybe make them look better than what they are.
I think with Hearts, I mean, you shouldn't be finishing lower than 5th.
No.
Just like with Old Firm, it's pretty much impossible to finish, lower than 2nd.
But say one of these come in and finish 4th, does that mean they were going to do a better job than Nielsen, or what? Or will Hearts fan, will you look at it and say, well, what's the point of sacking him? Because Nielsen would have at least got that anyway.
Yeah, I would have given Nielsen to the end of the season. I don't even think Nielsen's job should have been under threat, but whatever. For me, 100% no. I don't know how any reputable website can even list Craig Levein as an option, to be honest. I think that's crazy.
I know, I don't get that one bit, but I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, so Craig Levein for us is a no-no. Moving on, we've got Stephen Robinson. The non-Irishman is likely to be one of those considered by Hearts' chief in the coming days, and no wonder, as St Mirren manager, he's overseen what's been a really good campaign for the Paisley club, as they now look all but certain to clinch a place in the top 6 after the split.
So he
Robinson,
sacks Nielsen, and they'll take his job.
Robinson has been highly rated in Scottish football for several years, with previous work at Motherwell earning praise as well. St Mirren would be loath to lose their manager at this stage of the campaign, but there's no doubt Hearts would be an alluring opportunity for him. Thoughts on Stephen Robinson? While I think he has done a good job at St Mirren, he done an okay job at Motherwell, didn't he get sacked at Motherwell?
Aye, he did, didn't he?
So, I mean, he didn't leave Motherwell to go to St Mirren.
Anyone who gets sacked, you've got to worry.
He got replaced at Motherwell. He got sacked at Motherwell, and while he has done a good job at St Mirren, I'm just not necessarily sure that he's the man for Hearts. I don't think he's not doing a good enough job at St Mirren, in my opinion, to think, wow, Hearts need to go out and get this guy.
He's had a good season, but you're right.
I mean, for me, I would have Davy Martindale above Stephen Robinson.
I would, yeah.
I think Martindale was consistently, season by season, done great with Livy, whereas, yeah, Stephen Robinson's having a good season this season, and, had a good end to last season, but I don't think he is above Davy Martindale, if we're talking about current domestic managers.
Never. I agree with you.
And I think it's just too early. I don't know, mate. Oh, battery's running low. My patience is running low with the Hearts board. But yeah, for me, I think Stephen Robinson. I don't think he's the man. Not right now.
I'll give it a 4 out of 10.
Big 4 out of 10. I'll say about a 4 out of 10 is fair as well. And the last option here considered by Football Scotland is Dean Smith. The Englishman may be more of an unlikely target, but there's no reason why Hearts should be afraid to go for him if they decide to go down that route. Smith largely did good work at Aston Villa during his 2 years in charge of the club, but it's fair to say that things could have gone better for him at Norwich City. He's been out of work since December, but it remains to be seen whether he would consider a move to Scottish football even if the Jambos did approach him again.
No chance this happens, right?
First of all, you go first.
He's in the English football bubble, right? He'll be on more money if he goes to a fucking League One team, so why would he go to Hearts? Don't want to downplay the league, but that's just the reality. It's the same reason why that Chris Wilder, old decrepit bastard, turned down Aberdeen.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking... I mean, maybe Hearts could pay more than some League One clubs, but this guy, Aston Villa, Premiership experience, he could probably get a job in the Championship.
He could probably fucking get the job at Leicester if he wanted to.
Yeah, I think it's an unrealistic option. I don't even think this guy is... And again, he's currently unemployed, so I just don't really like the thought of going for these unemployed managers.
No.
Because, I don't know, it's just not a good look if you're an unemployed manager. So, yeah, guys, that's it. There is the 5 options that this website is listed. I would be upset, to be honest, if Hearts got any of them. I mean, maybe Dean Smith. He's got experience, but I mean, again, English football's overrated. Just because he managed in the Premiership doesn't make him great.
Of course.
Now, let's be real. There's a lot of managers in the English Premiership over the years that I would not want.
I know.
I'm being serious. There's a lot of fucking duds. Look at Roy Hodgson. How can that guy get... How can they replace...
Yeah, he won 5-1 yesterday.
I don't give a shit. How can they replace Roy Hodgson with Patrick Vieira and then literally do the straight swap like a year later? That's abysmal.
I know.
It's abysmal. Anyway, guys, that's the 5 options. Let us know. Out of those options, if I could pick anyone... So it's not even going to be Dean Smith, so I'm going to rule him out. I would pick Stephen Robinson out the 5.
But it's not
out
good.
The 4. But yeah, I mean, I just don't think he deserves... I don't think he's done enough to get the Hearts job, but we'll see. It's just like levels. People... Davy Martindale gets linked to Rangers and people laugh it off because he hasn't really... They don't think he's done enough. Same when Derek McInn's got thing to Rangers. Although Derek McInn's reportedly turned Rangers down, which might be the biggest mistake he ever made.
I know. Well, thank fuck he did, though.
What else do you think 10 in a row would have been achieved?
Fucking it'd be about 14 in a row now,
14 in a row. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know your thoughts. Out of these 4 managers, who do you think is the best suited? I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd go with Stephen Robinson, or maybe Paul Lambert. Definitely not Craig Levein, and fucking hell no to Nicky Butt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let us know what you think down below, guys. Catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.